All right, let's get down to business now. Mr. Dean Tarrolly, let's get him up here. 2 weeks ago, what was his topic 2 weeks ago? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What was the topic last week? Knowing your role in advancing your business. Some of you, okay. And this week's topic, I can't wait to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Southern California, was a bartender, or actor, also co-founders, what I call the go-to guy on stage, many internationals, also a Circle of Champions, and I can't wait. One of my favorite speakers. Without further ado, let's give him a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
Morning. So that was really cool. Getting a chance to meet the team rolling all the way in from Japan. That's incredible. As I was getting myself set up here, it was great to meet you guys. I recognize some of you from the National, coming all the way over from Japan. That's amazing. Mr. Payan, Akiko, like that. It's really really incredible. So it does go to show you guys, this really wasn't what I was going to talk about, but I am going to mention it because of something that Mr. Thomas said. When you build your business, actually in life, right? In life, maybe think of it like this. People will always do things where they see value. They will always do things where they see value. And wow, this could actually go in a completely different place than I was going to take this call. And I know that there was a lot of time that you guys spent here at the beginning, so I won't take a lot of time today. I'll go fast. Al, you can tell me to wrap up whenever you need to. So it's fine. People will always do what they value. So why? So we just came from an international training. Why? And I will get to what my topic is today, but why were there not people there? Why? They didn't see the value in going. They didn't see the value in the ticket. They didn't see the value. They didn't see the value in getting there. That's what it is. Well, and Kathy, yes, COVID. I'm certainly not talking about people with a physical illness. I'm talking about the people that, right? And I hope your hubby is better and getting better. But for the majority of people, you guys, that wasn't the issue. For the majority of the people, they didn't see value in it. Now, what I'm about to say to you is going to be very direct. And by the way, permission to be direct with everybody, yes or no? Okay. If they don't see the value in what we're bringing to them, that is our fault. It is not their fault. We have to be experts at bringing, creating, and communicating the value of what it is that we do. The value of the opportunity, part-time plan B on the side business that can build a residual income on the side of your full-time job or business that you own. Creating the value for spending 48 hours in a plane ticket in a hotel to be around the top leaders and the co-founders of a company that's changed hundreds of thousands of lives. Creating the value in signing up for the services that we have, not only because they're great services, but because that is the business that you're in now, providing those services, creating value in those things. People go, oh, I'm thinking about it. We didn't create enough value in it. I've talked these last couple of weeks, and Al mentioned her name, Roxanne, who's got a lot of great stuff going on. She just got her first IBO qualified in a market that a month and a half ago, there was no team. So I want you to think about this. Just think about this. Let's have a freaking discussion about this. A month and a half ago, there was no team. There was Roxanne going to a new zip code in a market where she doesn't have any contacts. Listen to me. She went into a zip code where there was no business and she has no contacts. 6 weeks later, she has a team building and just qualified her first rep, and that person's about to get promoted. That is a leader, because she is able to communicate the value of what it is that we're doing. So much so that the value that was created and communicated moved that person into what? Action. You guys understand that's what these conversations are all about. So, you know, for Mr. Payan, Akiko, and the others, right? Kyoko, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. And I'm sure there's others that are on the call. Guess what? The value was created for them at 1 in the freaking morning to be on a leadership call with us. And it's a leadership call that is their second or third language. Give me a break, man. But we have a lot of people that, you know, what happens is they get involved in ACN. They kind of like, they show up. They're attendees, not participants. They smile, they nod, they shake hands, they talk vision. Where's the action? Where's the activity? Where's, you guys, you've heard me say this for years. I've been doing this call for years. The work you do in private will get you recognized and paid in public. The work you do in private will be recognized, right, in public. But it's the work in private that's done. What does that mean? What does that look like? And this really does segue into exactly what I was going to talk about. So here's my notes for you guys. I'm ready for you. You can't read them. Let me do it where, because I know I have the little focus thing. Okay, there you go. So the beginning, at the beginning is, at the beginning of the month, I talked about what you're doing. What are you doing? Secondly was knowing your role. Al covered that. So what are we going to talk about today for the few minutes that I have here with you? Okay. What are we going to talk about today? Hard work and talent. We're going to talk about hard work and talent. And I have a really cool video at the end about this. Sometimes what happens, because we get into the comparison game in ACN, he's doing this, she's doing that, he's getting promoted this, she's getting promoted that. They have this advantage, he has that advantage. None of those are true. You know, all of the cliches of, you know, the grass is greener where you water it, take care of your own home before you worry about the neighborhood, all these things, right? Well, hard work and talent have a very interesting relationship, in my opinion. So when people in ACN, there's a couple things, right? One of the things is, I don't know that people know how to define hard work. I don't think they know what the definition of hard work is. And I have to tell you guys that if you compare it to a traditional job, laborer's work, I mean, I've heard stories, everything from roofers to construction, me behind the bar for 20 years, sweat dripping down my nose, baseball cap pulled down so I didn't really have to look at people. Just tell me you're drinking my ear and then move on. Like, give me a break. There are people on this call that I know work really freaking hard at their job. Some of those jobs are mentally taxing. Some of those jobs are physically taxing. And we talk about this being hard work to talk to people. Here's where the hard work happens in ACN. It's your, okay, Mr. T, this could get a little, are we good? Are we good? The hard work in ACN mostly comes from your emotional immaturity. I talked to 3 people. Nobody's interested. Nobody? Is 3 nobody? 3 is 3. 3 isn't nobody. I talk to everybody I know. No one's interested. Really? You've been in for 24 hours and you talk to everyone you know, and now you're concerned about whether or not you can do ACN. You literally talk to everybody you know in 24 hours. What do you know? 3 people on the planet? That's it. Well, I know people that wouldn't do this. You don't know that. You don't know that. Stop playing God and prejudging people. So we have to define hard work in ACN. I remember when, oh shoot, what's his name? The guest speaker, Darren, what's his last, who's it, Al?
Hardy.
Yeah. So I like Darren Hardy. He's a disciple of Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn is the guy, and he kind of repackages some of the things, and I think he's got some great stuff. That's not knocking it at all. But one of the things that I remember that he trained at a national was the amount of time it actually took to do what we do. The amount of time it actually takes to do what we need to do to build a business, which is really piquing someone's interest. So if I saw Mr. Thomas maybe at a function, at a business function, maybe at a meeting, and he's dressed sharp and, personable guy, and if I took a stopwatch, and I timed it, and say, hey, your name is Al, right? He's like, yeah. Like, hey, look, I'm working on a business project. Would you be open to a quick conversation outside of here? 2 or 3 minutes. Would love to get your opinion about what we're doing. If I timed it, how long did that take? 15 seconds, 20 seconds, right? If you're a super slow talker, maybe a minute. That's a minute's worth of work to pique someone's interest. So you know why people don't go out? You know why many of you don't go out and pique people during the day? Would you like me to tell you? You don't see the value in it. You don't see the value that you are one peak away from a Mr. Payan or a Kiko or a Roxanne Coralejo or any of these people joining your team. You're one peak away, but you got to figure everything out and go be super business-like and go through, stop. You guys, Greg Provenzano, sorry, I got a plane apparently landing on my roof. You guys, Greg Provenzano said, go out and muck it up. Make sure you get the letter right. Go out and muck it up. Right? Go get messy. Go out and talk to people. Who cares? By the way, many of you are worried about the responses before you even take the action. How do you worry about what the cake is going to look like before you even bought the ingredients? I mean, what the, who cares? Am I making sense to anybody on this call right now? All right. So there's hard work and there's talent. You guys tell me, what do you think gives you the best chance to win? Hard work or talent? Hard work. What levels the playing field for everybody on this call? What levels the playing field for everybody in ACN? What levels the playing field between Mr. Al Thomas, myself, and every single one of you? What levels the playing field? There's one thing. Hard work. Effort, right. Charles, hard work. Let me ask you this question. What gives the people that are getting promoted an advantage? Look, many of you were at the National. You saw a parade of people getting promoted to positions that you are all working towards. Why are they getting promoted? Why? Is it hard work or is it talent? It's hard work. And you know what the genesis of hard work is? It is a decision. And you know what a decision comes from? Your reason why you're doing this. So here's the crazy part. The relationship between hard work and talent. If you consistently work hard at the basics of our business, getting customers, peaking people, presenting the business, promoting the events. If you work hard consistently, you are going to gain experience. Experience is the mother of all learning. Experience is going to give you a huge advantage. So now when you come across that situation again that you've come across 9 times and you know how to handle it, unbelievable. The people watching you look at you and go, oh my God, she's so talented. Did you hear how she answered that? Did you hear how he answered that? He's so talented. Why? Because he went through, or she went through, the experiences of the hard work, and that hard work starts to build confidence. The confidence gives you a track record. The track record gives you data on what works and what doesn't. Oh, I know where this conversation's going. You guys know I've done this for so long. Do you know how many times I'm at the end of a meeting, I'm completely focused on a person, but I know the conversation that's happening. I know the questions and answers that are coming. And I'm actually thinking of the grocery list of things I need to pick up at home to bring home to my wife and daughter while I'm answering the questions that they have, because I've done it 1,000 freaking times. Some of you won't go there. You won't do this 1,000 times. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're concerned about how it feels. And if it doesn't feel right, and if it doesn't feel good, you don't do it. Feelings won't pay you. In spite of your feelings, it is what skill set have you developed? What talents have you acquired because you went through the numbers and the hard work? It's funny to me, like I have people that complain, man, and the overwhelming majority of people that complain about anything have no right to complain because they haven't done enough work to complain, or if they are working, they're working at the wrong things. There's no getting promoting. There's no getting promoted because you're a great note taker. Hey, we want to congratulate, we want to welcome up all the note takers in ACN. Come on up. Let's say, right? By the way, see Al's notes? He's not getting promoted for that. There's no recognition for note taking. But you want to know what there is? That's part of the hard work. That's going back in, making the notes, getting the notes, and going back and then applying the notes. And if you do that enough times, then there's talent. By the way, that's the second or third time I heard Al tell the story about what happened in the lobby. Do you know why that happened? It happened because he's a talented guy. He could hear a conversation. But you know where that talent stems from? The genesis of that talent comes from hard freaking work. But that's hard work in ACN, you guys. That's not hard work in life. I want to like shake people. That is not hard work in life. When I was bartending and outside of managing the club that I was at, we would do events, and I'd be asked to bartend at events. And you want to know what? Setting up for a big event in Hollywood, carrying up all the freaking liquor, doing it in your t-shirt and your and black chinos or black jeans, and getting ready and setting up and getting the ice and cutting the fruit and getting the liquor and getting the juice and getting the soda, getting the water, getting all that stuff and taking it to the place. A lot of times it's up a hill to a beautiful home. And you're doing all that, and then it's 30 minutes before the party. It's 15 minutes before the party. The party opens up, and you're sweating your ass off. You've worked your tail. There's been nobody there. You've made no money yet. Then you go through the party, and now you're serving a bunch of people having a great time, and you're working for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. At 2 o'clock, the party ends. They get to go home, and guess what I get to do? Clean up after them, take all the stuff, and take it all the way back down the hill. That is hard work. Hey, do you look at other ways of making money? That's not hard work. Hey, do you keep your business options open? That's not hard work. Hey, I'm expanding a company in this marketplace. Are you open to having a conversation? That's not hard work. That's not hard work. And if you think that's hard work, then that's another phone call, or that's another Zoom that you're going to have to do with Mr. Thomas, because that is not hard work. Going into your back office and learning the services, that is not hard work, right? Understanding and learning the compensation plan, that's not hard work. That's not hard work. So you have to redefine this. We are so lucky and so blessed to have found this opportunity that if you do have a work ethic and you are willing to put the work in, I'm telling you, let me figure out how I want to say this. Your talents are going to be developed through your experiences of what you might consider hard work in ACN. And I needed to give everybody a little perspective. What's difficult in ACN is in your head. If you become emotionally, listen, please write this down. Write this down. I must become emotionally unattached to people's responses. And if you are emotionally unattached, you are emotionally detached, then it won't matter what they say. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, great. You are sorting. You're simply sorting through people. What was it? Edison said that I found 1,000 ways to not invent the light bulb, something like that. Like, come on. So in a personal conversation, I'll just share with you, I had with my mom, and you guys have heard me reference my mom a few times. She is the smartest person I know. She is a crisis counselor. She lives in the Midwest. She's insanely intelligent. She has an emotional and intellectual intelligence that is just, it's remarkable. And I remember, I'll just share this with you guys. A few years ago, I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, she could tell. I mean, I was pretty bummed out. I was pretty depressed. And she goes, I said, she goes, what's wrong? Well, you know, I'm doing this with my team, and this is happening, and I feel like I should be further along. I feel like I should be a senior vice president already. I feel like I should be doing better. I feel like I should be further along in my business. And she was listening to me, and we're going back and forth on it. And I was like, yeah, I should be further along in my business. And she goes, yeah. I said, yeah. She goes, says who? Who says you should be further along? And that was my mom slapping me. She goes, yeah, so you should be further along. Really? Says who? What, you think you should be further along? You feel like you should be further along? You think you deserve to be further along? Why? Why do you feel that way? What gives you the right or the reason to think you should be further along? You are where you are because of the decisions you made, the skills that you have, and the actions that you take. And she was right. She was right. You know, my mom is 100 pounds soaking wet holding weights, and she's a heavyweight, man. So you guys have to decide, like, you know, I should be further along. Really? Why? What have you done that should make you further along than you are? You are exactly where you are based on the actions you take and the skill set that you have developed. Here's the great news. So I always end on something positive, right? I wanted to make sure we're on the same page with these last couple of months, because these last couple of months are going to be important. And it is like put up or shut up time. It is time. You know, a bunch of us are going to be in Tahoe next week. Tahoe is going to be crazy. If you think what I'm going over with you today is a good deal, wait till those of you who are registered for the Lake Tahoe leadership, wait till you get there. It's going to be a smaller group, and it is going to be freaking awesome, man. It is on like Donkey Kong. It's going to be really good. So I found this video, and for those of you who, whether you're a sports fan or not, it doesn't matter. The guy's name is Tim Tebow. He was a national champion quarterback at the University of Florida, motivational speaker, has an unbelievable story. And I found this, and I thought it was really good. And it really does go to what it is that we're talking about with this relationship between hard work and talent, right? I know you guys want this because you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't. So that tells me that you want it. But, you know, a lot of people want a lot of stuff. Isn't that true? A lot of people want, yeah, Dave Culver, a Heisman Trophy winner too. Yes, sir. A lot of people want a lot of stuff. So let me play this for you guys, and then we'll wrap it up. So
my favorite quotes is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work as hard. I've held on to it because it's something that motivated me, knowing that when I show up onto a court, onto a field, onto a diamond, to a classroom, I'm not always going to be the most talented. Most of the time I'm not. But if you give me enough time, enough opportunities, then hard work can beat talent. when talent doesn't work is hard. And I think that's motivating to all of us, because when you believe more in your willpower and your work ethic over just your talent, then you'll believe in that quote. If you're someone that shows up and just relies on talent, then you don't want to give other people more chances. I think that's something that has always motivated me, knowing when I show up I'm not always going to be the most talented, but believing that if you put in the hard work, the dedication, the focus, you're fixing your eyes to a task, you don't want to be the first one to blink, then that's a quote that I think will encourage you and can help move you to take the next steps.
Let me ask you guys a question. Did that speak to anybody on this call? I hope so, because what it should tell you is this: I got my shot, because I know I may not be the most talented. I may not be able to communicate like Al Thomas, but I can work hard like him. I can work hard. I can go peak people. I can be not deterred by somebody's answer, good, bad, yes, no, whatever. I can move my business forward by taking action and doing what in ACN we would call hard work. And you know, the blessing in the whole thing is if you guys work your faces off, if you look, how about this? How about this? How about this? We got Halloween. It's a day. We've got Thanksgiving. Let's call it a couple days with family. And then you either have Hanukkah or Christmas. Let's say, you know, respectfully, let's call it Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after, Boxing Day, right? Let's call it 3 days. Okay. We're talking, and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We're talking about less than 10 days in the next 65 days to get you to another position before the new year. We're talking about 50 days. You guys realize that if you peaked one person a day every day for 50 days, that's 50 peaks. Do you think someone's going to look at the business? Do you think someone's going to join your team? I'm doing a PBR tonight for one of our reps here in Southern California, Sergio Cruz, 21 confirmations in his home, not on Zoom. I'm going to drive through 52 hours of traffic in LA to get down to South Orange freaking County to go do this meeting because he's got 20 plus people getting in his room. That's ACN. Why are they coming? Why is he finally doing a home meeting like this? Because he created so much value in me coming down there that they're filling the room. It's not about me. It's not about my ego. It's about learning edification of the leader that you're working with. Put people in front of that leader. I mean, you guys, this is the hard work of understanding the things about our business. And when you start applying them, watch what happens. So anyway, there was obviously a lot on my mind. I know we had all the stuff coming in from Japan. That was really great. Mr. Thomas, I'll turn it back over to you. I hope people decide to work hard for the next 60 days. So the beginning of 2024 is completely different for them than it is for everybody else. And for those of you that made the commitment to be in Tahoe, I cannot wait to see you this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It is going to be badass.